Hi folks, I'm Breccan McLeod-Lundy. I'm co-chair of NZRise. We're the industry body representing New Zealand-owned digital businesses. And this is our first attempt at doing more of a video update rather than trying to send people big screeds of text in terms of what we've been doing. So NZRise has been up to quite a bit this year. One of the big changes that people may have heard of was Don Christie stepped down as co-chair halfway through the year. I'd love to acknowledge the amazing work he's done for a long time, particularly in terms of engagement with government and really fighting for the interests of New Zealand businesses in that sector. And it's large shoes to fill for me. In terms of what we've actually been doing, there's been a huge amount of work in kind of the digital strategy space. So we're engaging regularly with government on the procurement front, pushing them towards sort of better interaction with all types of New Zealand-owned businesses, as well as kind of the macro-level effects that we can have for the New Zealand economy when contract support, for instance, allowing private business to keep the IP in situations where the government isn't going to keep reusing it and things like that. We've had great engagement with the GCDO, and particularly with the office having just changed a lot of who's running things. There's a lot of room there at the moment to be part of kind of affecting what happens next. Victoria, my co-chair, has spent a good chunk of time sitting on things like the Skills Forum and DediMag, which again is a great way to affect both what government policy means for ICT in New Zealand, as well as for sort of the broader things like making sure digital capability is coming up across the whole of society. We've been submitting on things like the R&D tax credits bill, so making sure not just that it makes sense for sort of all our New Zealand businesses, but also that it makes sense for businesses at any stage. So that, for instance, loss-making startups can still claim their R&D tax credits, as well as larger businesses. And then engaging on sort of more straightforward things like the government model contract and how sort of procurement across the sector in that regard of the actual sort of legalese of what actually happens is implemented. We've had some really great events. We had David Shanks come in straight after the Christchurch call. David Shanks is the chief censor. He was one of the first people who responded to the event by making that original footage be classified as objectionable, which was an interesting thing of, responding to things that are happening in technology now that we didn't really have strong laws or preparedness for, and who happen to have powers that would allow them to start to recategorize material and start really taking us on that path that eventually led to the Christchurch call. We've had Peter Hughes come in, who's the State Services Commissioner, and he talked us through in depth kind of his vision for what's happening with the state sector in general, and kind of all the changes in structure that he's making, which we'll likely see affecting all the rest of us over the coming years. And that really leads into our planning for next year. So obviously next year is an election year, which is one of the bigger opportunities for us to really engage and try and affect what's coming next for New Zealand. So we're at the moment in the middle of generating a broader sort of statement or manifesto, if you will, between us and a number of the other sort of digitally related industry bodies, which we'll be submitting to all of the parties in government in the hopes that it will affect what they're doing with technology, what they understand about technology and digital, so that they do things that at least make as much sense as possible, which is all we can really hope for. And then there's sort of more practical things as well, like we're doing some engagement with government around sort of push towards greater security. Obviously, there have been another round of sort of quite embarrassing security breaches for government in the last year or so. And one of the things that's concerning us at the moment is that you can sort of see this big push coming towards government wanting higher and higher security credentials. But where a lot of our members are SMEs or only working with government in smaller capacities, if that becomes a requirement for sort of high levels of audit and certification, it could actually push businesses out of the market. So we're trying to push on both making sure government understands security better so they can do it well, and also making sure that if sort of there is this move towards certification and standardization, there's support available for sort of the SME and startup sectors to be able to play on a level footing, even if they don't have exactly those skills the way sort of more established businesses do. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot this year that I think has gone really well. There's a lot of opportunity next year for how we engage. And I'm hoping that all of you will be around to tell us what you're looking for from government. There'll obviously be plenty of opportunities that if you've got a lot of spare time on your hand, we're also keen for other people to help us with sort of the engagement with government, because obviously it is time-consuming and interesting. So let me know if there's anything you particularly want to see NZRise doing in the coming year, or if you're interested in membership, reach out as well. Or if you're already a member and you just want to know more about how we're doing, then feel free to reach out to me or Victoria for coffee. And have a good holiday.